Whoops.
You act smart while I act dumb, but I know some that still lay under my thumb. See, we've got issues, so we swing a fistful, whatever, trying to keep the temper down to the gristle. They like the small talk as long as it's about you. They walk that walk without knowing how to. I watch it all and pretend that I'm above it, but the truth is I see it, I need it, I love it.
I'm stuck with random stray hairs from ex-lovers entangled in each other's desire to stay here beyond their welcome, sharing the same common problem. Blonde and brunette, tightly knit, and I don't fit in with split ends. Didn't have to worry about them taking me for my dividends. Paid my dues spending time by myself, she was with her friends, mingling with single men, say things like hitting skins to them, thinking it's innocent but then giving me guilty grins. Swimming with filthy fins, knocking boots, kicking my shins, shark infested water torture treatments, get beat by the Timberlands. Feet are shivering, walking on cold graves. Roses lay on relationships, too impatient to die of old age.
Yeah, remember when you knew all the answers? Well, something shook until you thought you had the questions. For all the time and effort you've invested, I find it kind of funny that you haven't learned your lessons. Still guessing the whisper of the leaf, the rustle of the bitch. When there is no love, nothing makes you rich. So I give a shrug and the eye muscle twitches in replace of a hug and a lack of superstitions.
Stop thinking you don't belong here. You are where you are, cause you hardly move. The music is not gonna stop. Take your eyes off the chair, cause there's others that are under the same impression as you. How many seats will a rock bottom accommodate? One too many people who share nothing but views. Misery is willing to keep company with those who don't ever walk a mile in their own shoes. So now they swap souls, they got soul fucking uninspired. They drop low under the fire of sky gods. It got old and now they wanna go higher, but cops patrol every single empire with tripods.
So video did kill the radio star. Now we're all so cute and drive brand new cars. We make music so you can lose your mind. We do the crime so you can do the time. Tell me who can get busy like this, man? Well, the truth is, damn near anyone can. So I'ma buy you some implants and a suntan. Let's follow the plan and get some fat off the land. Fuck this little rapper, treat me like a crook. Baby, if you knew me, you wouldn't sing my hook. You think I was so ugly, you'd be afraid to look. But maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get a chapter in your book. Doing fine, thanks for asking. Standing as the last man, popping bubbles and aspirin. Ready, set, action. Remove your dress so we can make a mess and hit the world with a little bit of stress.
Let's pep talk these wings till they strengthen. Forgetting footwork, making power moves on ceilings where heads spin. That unravels a bloody crown, revealing red skin. We created hierarchy, now there are no kings in heaven. Fatty acids added to the asthma medicine. Breathing heavy at the gates makes them have to let us in. Like as if implying we've been trying our hardest, using everyone else's honest way of dying as an armrest. I ain't on promise. Broken over dislocated kneecaps, and it's harmless jokes that provoke freak accidents. Laugh at that lap dancer who strips off confidence. I live off of hope and providence. Providence, 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 providence.
Your communication tactics are all fucked up. Don't blame me. I had nothing to do with this.
You play the same damn records every day. No wonder you believe you'll never get away. You wear the same pair of jeans you woke up in. Keep the music coming, keep the movement sudden. I watched you dance every street of this city. I feel no pity. You laid the carpet, you made the target by yourself, little help. Now loosen up the belt and straighten up the apartment. Finish that book that you never even started. Take a look at that face that hates to look back. Set the oven on bake, take a pan out the rack. Season up your past, put it in and cook that.
Stop thinking you don't belong here. You are where you are, cause you hardly move. The music is not gonna stop. Take your eyes off the chair, cause there's others that are under the same impression as you. How many seats will a rock bottom accommodate? One too many people who share nothing but views. Misery is willing to keep company with those who don't ever walk a mile in their own shoes.
What's poppin', man? Yeah. Blessings to the people. Thank you for joining us on the show. Truth or Cop official. You know what I mean? And obviously, there's all sorts of intrusions.
Ponies.
Not sh-
Uh-oh.
yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, what it do here?
Oh my god. Eh. Can you hear me now? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, cool. Okay. I had like, it seems to be lagging from yeah. All right. Sorry. What's up? Today it's eradicating the verse of these dog face. I know you have.
Excellent stuff, Truth or Cop. Wow. So total crash out with the audio and then wow. Yeah, so bear with us folks. Yeah, we'll be looking at some key things, insights, news from the Panelverse starting shortly. Obviously critically low on resources, and y'all know what it is. We're not part of a professionally produced show, and so on and so forth. As you can see in the top right corner, right, the StreamYard logo. I mean, and so on and so forth. So, we're just simply having a discussion about the various actors, bad or good or otherwise, in the various panel communities. We'll see what the deal is here. You're right. In terms of what they presented us. I mean, I'm not really going off of my own opinion here, right? A lot of people have critiqued me saying that I'm giving a negative critique. I'm literally just saying what the words are, reporting the facts that are presented, right? So I don't know. Last time we had some detractors come up and say that we gave some negative critiques. I mean, in their own words, we presented the information. So, I mean, where's the negative critique? I mean, I don't understand. Right?
Yeah, there was some contention last week. Yeah.
And the week before, it seemed
Yeah.
like a lot of the people that and honestly, like I don't, everybody that I try to review has been people that I've been watching for a long time.
Mm.
So I mean, I may not agree with their opinion, but even the people that don't like your show, I mean, you must know that they add to your views, they add to your content, right? So to have an opinion that I mean, I welcome people who are detractors of mine to watch my content, so on and so forth, review it. I mean, that's excellent. I always get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
We reviewed
Gives you
the
something to
review.
talk about.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, we gotta get because we didn't get to a lot of points you wanted to hit last week about this Dr. Greg and the smiley face killer and this whole video over there. I believe we want to hit some points about like recent
Yeah, I had
news,
that
perhaps.
smiley
But
song stuck in my head for a week.
it
Last night I
has to
was
be
trying to
about that
sleep.
guy, right? It has to be about the
Yeah,
smiley face killer, right? No
yeah, I
way.
replayed that. I mean, a show that we did, last time yesterday, and I was, trying to take a nap while I'm replaying on my show, and then that smiley face killer song came out. It was funny, man. It's been stuck in my head all week. Uh-oh. Maybe we lost Truther here, man. It's the audio circus. Yeah, blessings, namaste. I appreciate you. We got Browns boy in the chat. Namaste. What happened to our chat? What is this, man? Nobody commented on a Truther Cop show? This is looking like the machine lies over here. It looked like Chernobyl in this bitch, bro. Where in the fuck? Yeah, blessings, Jake. We got one. Jake up in the house. Namaste. Blessings. In Iran. What? No, that's not even true, man. What are you talking about? They have cities in Iran, bro. Stop, man. Go read a book. You really think people who are gonna build like nuclear weapons and they like trying to stop them from building nuclear weapons that those people don't have basic amenities? Like what? They obviously got more shit, bro. You wouldn't be at war with them if they were wiping their ass with
Oh
fucking.
man, you got some clips we want to jump into? Because my thing keeps lagging. It's like cycling, man. At least we play the clip. You got something to talk about, and I'll know if I'm lagging based on whether the clip is playing or not.
Um, yeah, I could pull this thing up, but I think we wanted to talk about some
Good
things.
to see Ragamuffin.
Yeah, obviously I've been watching the panels. I know Truther wanted to talk about the Jake Lang thing. Yeah, I got a bunch of clips and things I want
And
to pull
endeavor
up,
to.
get started and stuff. Yeah, in terms of the shows and whatnot. Obviously they covered Wilson for another week. So I'll give you guys a brief summary of what happened, right? So E. Betard is kind of doing a show on Wilson, and he's getting really obsessed with the Charlie Kirk assassination or whatever. So he actually went on to Flostein's show, and the powdered crusty obviously welcomed him with open arms until he started dropping F slurs on his show. So I got all this clipped up. Enslaved by Tortillas got thrown off Flostein panel when they were just trying to all talk about Andrew Wilson together. And obviously, all their shows for an entire week, this entire week of shows that they presented has been about Andrew Wilson, confirming everything that I said last week, and he denied it. Right. And he tried to act like it's a problem with me for having a problem. I don't have a problem. I'm reporting on what people covered during the week in the Panelverse. Um, and obviously there's some unique developments with Talcott and all that stuff. We're in the midst of trying to find out what's going on with Talcott. Today, this is very important news. Talcott was featured on YouTube. I don't know if people are aware of this.
Do what?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Let me actually get up on this, man. Let me share this for you guys. Because this will be the first item. You guys see this shit? Yeah, we gotta wait for Truther to pull it up. He's doing some technical shit. Right? Yeah. I mean, it's right here on the bottom, so maybe you might have to remove us. But see how it says right there? YouTube featured. Yeah, man. This is a real picture of Jack Talcott's show. It says he was featured by YouTube, man. So either we all on to come up or something new is about to happen out here, man.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, obviously there's been characters on the show. Now, one of the main characters has been on Jack Talcott's show recently with the Finding Gnosis crowd, right? Is this guy Objective Ethics? Oh shit, did my shit crash? Oh no, I'm still here. All right, Objective Ethics. Let me pull this up. Yeah, I might have to come back in the studio. Give me a second, guys. I gotta come back in this bitch.
So I'm assuming everybody can hear me if the bubble moves. Already. Objective Ethics, I believe, was this guy had this Dr. Greg video about like why you should get your jabs and this and that. And it's all, I don't know, it gets into some crazy stuff, but yeah, Jack Talcott. I mean, congrats for being featured, man. It's pretty awesome. I hope. Let me see if I can get this microphone to work. TML, I don't believe anything's coming through.
Can you guys hear me?
There you go. Yeah, now we can, yeah.
All right. Well, my shit's still crashed. Just give me one more second. I'm gonna be back in this bitch, man. I just gotta like fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's acting up like crazy right now, Mom. They want us to do their best when they, feature our channel.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is, but I got everything pulled up on my history, so it's no worries. But yeah, just give me 1 second.
It's here. Bum 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 bum. I love the Panelverse news updates. Yeah, we're doing the best we can. I don't know why. Like sometimes the internet works here perfectly, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I need to be on Wi-Fi. Sometimes I use my phone signal. Sometimes I can use a microphone. Sometimes I can't. I don't know. But yeah, there's certainly a lot of Panelverse news and updates. That's for sure. Yeah, me either. That's pretty crazy. I don't know. Something's happening here, Mom. And her twice. Let me remove the other one. Yo. Sets. Mom. All right. We got you back.
All right, let me pull this up for you guys. With this Dr. Greg destroys the Vax conspiracy. Cause okay, so what I was saying is that actually I was on with this dude let me pull this up. So this dude's a very nice guy, but him and obviously Talcott have been doing some shows. Obviously, he did a show with Talcott. Let me actually pull that up first. So let's pull up his show with Talcott first, so we know that there's a trail of collaborations here. Because that's really what we're trying to draw on, this little chain of collaborations. I mean,
Navigate the timelines and have the internet connection all at the same time. Looks like it's blank for some reason. Bum.
What's bank? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. So yeah, so here's the Objective Ethics channel, right? Okay, so wait, I gotta go to live streams to go look where he interviewed Jack. Okay, so here's Jack's show on Objective Ethics, right? Now he's interviewed a number of like serious guests. Like for example, here's him. Well, here's just Talcott, right? That's normal. So obviously, okay, so we'll play a little bit.
The misinformation, we've got a society that literally profits from exploiting the misinformed. It took us a way off from there. If we were on-
all right, so that's classic Jack. Let's go to this live here. You'll go to another video here, which is interesting, where he has a video. Can AI help us understand morality?
Every type of model.
So it's interesting because me and Truther Cop did a couple of shows about AI and with Ray Kurzweil, right? So they claim that if you invent advanced general intelligence, it'll be able to give us all sorts of information, like give us the correct understanding of morality. So it's quite a strange proposal, but here's Richard Carrier, PhD, who's author of a number of books from the mythicist camp, right, claiming that Jesus did not exist, right, that he was not a historical person. So so there's this. So he's had a number of notable guests on his show, And then there's this show with Dr. Greg. And so this is the one we're going to be watching with Dr. Greg. And here's Dr. Greg. So we'll see a little bit of what he says.
Privatize it and then sell it through the economy. That's how it's all works. So we are intricately political, and I think that one of the biggest problems is scientists not getting involved with it, not touching politics, and saying like, oh, this is a done issue. Why do I have to get involved? I just can be in the lab all day, and I don't think that that's true. I don't think that the pandemic showed that too, that we have to explain the things that we're out there doing. And we need actual scientists to do it too, not just like, I do think that there's something inherently different when you have a research scientist that's like explaining research as opposed to like a medical doctor or physician. I think that that's cool. I think that they're awesome, a integral part of society. But I do think that we need research scientists to be explaining that to the public, to make that case for.
Okay. So there's this idea you need research scientists to explain things to the public because they can't absorb all the information. They have to take in this unverified information. So they need experts to help them take in this information, right, or whatever. So he gives a whole thing defending the jabby stabbies and stuff. So eventually our friend Dom calls in. But first I want to set up this scene here, right? So let's see when Dom calls into the show. Let me get right to that moment when he calls in. Actually, you know what? He starts talking at some point.
He refers to this Dr. Greg show as a defense for COVID at some point in this as well. I would assume, right?
This guy is from a show called Dr. Greg Show, right? So this guy, Dr. Greg, up in the top center, right? He's got a show on YouTube. Okay, so there's a bunch of people on this panel. There's Objective Ethics. There's this Austin guy on the bottom left. There's this guy, Chris Moore, which is a weird name. So if you check this out, it says here that the Dr. Greg Show is a fictional daytime health and talk show featured in Paramount true crime drama series Happy Face. So this is actually about this dude here, the Happy Face killer, who actually left smiley faces as his sort of calling card after he like strangled his victims, and I think he had over 100 victims. It says he's claimed to kill as many as 160 people, but only 8 have been confirmed. So I guess so here's the show here, Smiley Face Killer, but and it's written by this lady Melissa Moore, right? So Melissa G. Moore, she's like, I guess the person who wrote the show, Happy Face, or Happy Face Killer, right? Or no, the show is called Happy Face. Yeah, the show is called Happy Face. And then, so I thought I just thought it was interesting because the smiley face, because I thought of the thing from The Watchmen, right, where Alan Moore, a writer with the same last name, right, actually has a famous thing of a blood-splattered, blood-stained yellow smiley face. So it says here that actually he researched serial killers to get to that. So it says that that he wanted to make his show like a true crime investigation, like you see like the character in The Watchmen. He's like a true crime investigator, right? He's like a detective, right? The guy who Rorschach.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he had the mask that shifted and all that.
Yeah, and here's Dr. Greg, And as you can see here, he worked in nanotechnology approaches. He's promoting the jabby
Huh.
stabbies, and it also
Right.
says that he worked for the Department of Defense,
Mm.
Science and Engineering Graduate Fellowship, 3 years of full funding from the U.S. Department of Defense. So this guy got actual funding from the Department of Defense to do his YouTube show.
Wow.
I'm not sure if it's to do his YouTube show or to do his nanotechnology research. But yeah, anyways, let's go to the part with Dom. But yeah, it's wild how this guy gets these kind of guests on his show.
Objective ethics.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you have a comment on that before I try to locate this clip?
Yeah, I think my mic's finally keeping up. I think I'm finally able to comment here for a moment. Cool, great. Yeah, it's a wild perspective what you're laying out here. I need to learn a little more before I comment. But yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty wild. This is one of the top call-ins this year, I think, to a YouTube show. It's very good.
So yeah, that's that kidding.
Sorry, I'm just finding this clip here.
Well, spike protein.
My favorite science
Years change
the rest.
Okay, here we go.
Thanks for the.
Okay, here we go, folks. So here's the clip.
Go back like a minute. I want to
I'll
hear
go
the
back
context a little bit.
Yeah, so here's the clip here with Dom and Crystal calling into Objective Ethics. Man, this is a real barn burner. And as you saw, the dude is an actual Fed from the Department of Defense who was funded by the Department of Defense for 3 years. Right. And promoting the jabby stabbies. Right. So yeah,
change it just a little bit and then redeploy it very specifically, and that's how we change things from basic knowledge to a technology, and then that application of that technology is a medicine. So there's lots of information in there. There's lots of information that's out there in the world. That
did you see that? The distinction between technology and medicine, and how he said that it's a technology that turned into a medicine. That was pretty interesting.
Well, go back.
That was so weird, dude. That was such a weird context clue right there. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, especially if he was in nanorobotics too.
I know, exactly. And he works for the Department of Defense. And he just said that, we just went to a random part of the show, and this is what he says. Right.
Technology world, that's all out there. Basically, as biotechnology or a scientist, what we do is we basically steal stuff that's happened in nature that's evolved over billions of years, change it just a little bit, and then redeploy it very specifically. And that's how we change things from basic knowledge to a technology, and then that application of that technology is a medicine. So there's lots of information.
Steal and then redeploy.
Information that's out there in the world that we have yet to discover.
Yeah, it's really weird. He said that we have this thing that we steal from nature that we turn into a technology that then becomes a medicine. It's a very weird explanation of I don't know.
It's pretty honest though. I mean, he said we steal it from.
Oh shit. I think he hit the wrong button there. But yeah, I'll just play it till he comes back.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's a quote unquote new field for basically Western society and although I'm not saying Eastern, but I'm specifically pointing as to Russia, basically has a more handle on that field. And well, not in politics, but anyways. But
I don't think so. I think that we are just as we are more advanced than Russia on this stuff for sure. 100%.
Okay.
Chris, thank you for that. No, thank you. We'll see how.
So check that out. He just said we're way advanced in Russia in this research of like viruses and stuff. How would he even know that unless he worked for the government? So he's kind of admitting it there. It's weird.
Long that stays true with the Trump administration just gutting the crap out of all science research.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You there, Truther?
Yeah, it just it just boots me randomly. Hopefully, it like boots me randomly from the StreamYard. I don't know, and resets it. But yeah, you're talking about nanotechnology and stealing from nature and all this. Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. Already, all of a sudden, my signal's messing up. So I guess I got to be careful about what I say.
Absolutely. The cutting of funding is insane.
Yeah.
And putting people like RFK in charge of the health department is like, what the hell is going on here? Chris, thank you for your thoughtful questions and for your commentary. I appreciate you as always. Set Scales, you are such a patient person and very kind and respectful to wait so long to be heard. And I have to give you your props because despite our differences in a lot of things about how we look at the world, I have found you to be consistent in the fact that you actually carry yourself with respect and mutual respect for other people, whereas a lot of people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. So credit to you, brother. You're up on stage now. What do you have your question for Dr. Greg or for Austin?
Yeah, hello, and thanks for the kind words. I just wanted to read this. It's about 3 paragraphs by Manly P. Hall, written in 1923, called The Crime of Vaccination. And he says, how much longer will people have to pay to have smallpox is the problem confronting a large number of people. They send their children to the public school and are forced to allow a pedigreed concept to pump smallpox into them under the refined heading of vaccination. It has been proven conclusively that a great train of ills in body and in spirit follow after vaccination. Many vaccinated people have succumbed to smallpox, while many exposed to it have not taken it.
Yeah, Dom's going in, and you could look at Dr. Greg's face.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Look at Dr. Greg's face. It's like, what is he?
Manly P. Hall. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, Manly P. Hall is pretty based. This quote is crazy. Yeah. So Dr. Greg is kind of daydreaming. I don't know what he's doing. He's sort of like looking off into the distance. He's first put his head in his hand, and then he's obviously thinking of the time when he tried to join the Freemasons or whatever. They invited him to join, and then they mentioned Manly P. Hall or whatever. So he's thinking of that probably.
Although unvaccinated, the karmic debt for vaccination is twofold. First, to our bodies, which we deliberately defile with smallpox serum and the vaccine. Secondly, to the animal who goes through untold suffering and is itself given smallpox, in order that from the ulcers the drops of vaccine may be extracted and pumped into us. The occultist is fighting tooth and nail to abolish vaccination and supplants it with good common sense. Smallpox is primarily a filth disease, and if people would live right, bathe right, and eat right, they would not get it. For the healthy body is perfectly capable of taking care of its germs. We look forward with great hopes to the day when we will remove from the fair name of our race the blemish, mental and physical, the swollen glands, tonsil trouble, the nervousness and debility, the rashes and outbreaks, not a small percentage of which can be traced to vaccine, which kills the best in us in order to save the rest. So, exploring your guys' thoughts on Manly
So, do you have anything more recent than over a century ago?
Do you have any? What an asshole! It's
Yeah, it's like,
Manly
do you have
P.
anything
Hall.
more
What the
reason?
fuck, dude? Fuck off, dude. Do you have any respect for anyone other than yourself, dude? Like, no, it needs to be a modern viral philosopher like Dr. Fauci. Like, get real. Which one of his age just went got convicted of something? Because Dr. Fauci would have been convicted, I guess, but he was like pardoned by Biden. But one of his aides like got it. Apparently, I don't know. I didn't look too much into it, but for hiding information about the vaccines and stuff. Like he's getting sentenced. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see something like that. Yeah, it's weird. So yeah, I mean that's weird. That it's always the guys they set up in the media that get popped to. There's a huge pattern with that. They set a guy up in the media to be the fall guy, and then later you find out that he had butt sex with one of his aides, and so on and so forth. And it's always something.
Go.
Yeah, before we get to the scientists, and I want to hear what both scientists and us referring to you as a scientist here are educated about. I just want to just for point of reference, so people know who we're talking about here. Maybe I should share this. So Manly P. Hall, yeah, you see on the screen. Okay, so he was not a scientist, right? He actually was not educated in the field of any empirical sciences. He was a philosopher, a mystic.
Because of
motor.
No. The empirical scientist back in the day, it was empirical to use plant medicine because that's what the ancestors did, records of using. It was heroic, novel medicine, as in the novel coronavirus, that was the alternative to the empiric research being proposed by the holistic healers and practitioners when Rockefeller and Carnegie like somehow did this magnificent book that like got their prescriptions everywhere and got rid of the natural medicine by saying like these people, these practitioners, they can't standardize the natural medicine, but we can standardize this oil pharmaceutical product. And they revolutionized the whole medical industry so that every drug you get is patented because there's so much more money in that than there is in a plant that anyone can grow. And researching that, I mean, like he says it. He said it earlier. They look at nature and they steal it. Why can't we just use nature? Like,
So it's interesting because anybody who's not a scientist can critique this, and not every scientist is a molecular biologist. So, they don't have, total knowledge either just because you are a scientist, right? You would have to have expertise in the particular area of studies. Now, to his credit, he has somebody who's an expert in the specific area that this pertains to. But even then, I mean, what's to say that anybody who says trust this or that expert, that they know which experts to trust, right?
It's a novel science. It's not empirical. So when he's saying there's nothing empirical besides like since 1913, that's when the empirical evidence or whatever he's talking about starts. Thousands of years of empirical evidence, empirical medicine before that has just been erased by this people with this mindset who put this forth and want to argue that they have the empirical evidence. No, they don't. Like it was the modern man that had medicinal knowledge because you get an infection, you need to know how to treat it or you're going to die. And before they had all this pharmaceutical crap, they were using plants to do this.
Yeah, I may not know if Manly P. Hall is 100% correct in everything he says, but the fact is this, that what he said is right, I think. And then what is going on here is like sometimes the experts, like for example, we pointed out earlier that this guy Fauci, he might be dealing with criminal charges and stuff. So this guy, how he defrauded people and so on and so forth. I mean, it's not even known at this stage. So it's like to say that we can just trust experts is kind of.
But he's been pardoned. He's been pardoned. So he can't even get to him. He's tried by Congress, and the only way he couldn't get to him is because Biden pardoned him. But before he was even charged with anything, I believe. They're like Biden, like pre-pardon for anything related to COVID. I believe this is what happened. Which is just like a pre-pardon. I think Trump might have been the first one to do this.
It says that
no, I don't think so.
Not,
that might have been the first one.
It says that they have not been criminally charged, but it says they did plead guilty in federal court to plotting to conceal and destroy public records and emails regarding C-19 research grants. So how is that not pointing to how they're could be fixing up this research, and they are the experts? I mean, it just points to the very same thing. It's kind of strange, right? And later this guy says it, right? Because he admits that, the guy who's saying that Manly P. Hall is too outdated, he admits that his own peer-reviewed research journal. Yeah. But this guy admits that his own, peer-reviewed research journals publish fake research that chocolate will help you lose weight. And this was an experiment done by somebody showing that you have to verify peer-reviewed research studies. So you can't even trust peer-reviewed research studies just because the expert says it. You still have to verify the information. It's dumb. They've proven this, that you can publish fake research even in journals, like this guy did. So I mean, it's wild.
Yeah, good to see everyone there. Doorway, Venus, Little Wing. See how Zephyr. But yeah, let's keep playing this one. So it's
of mysticism, astrology, anthropology, archaeology, and astronomy. So I would say that this guy is not qualified to, in any sense whatsoever, to determine whether or not something is scientifically ethical or ethical. Efficacious, I should say, or ethical. I mean, he sounds like every other religious quack that I've ever heard write about something like this, in my opinion. So I'll let the scientists respond.
Well, let me just say that he is not examining this from a scientific perspective. He's just basically pointing out the common sense point. How are the vaccines better than natural, clean living? Something that I have not seen demonstrated in the century since.
Well, for one thing, smallpox isn't around anymore. Advantage vaccines. So that alone kind of destroys your whole argument. The fact that wild smallpox cases are virtually non-existent now because of vaccination.
They're not. They're dead. The smallpox is actually the only thing on Earth that's been completely eradicated from Earth. So I mean, we're talking about smallpox, which killed in the 1900s alone 300 to 500 million people. So
was that not largely a result of the industrialization of crowded cities and living in dirty environments and forced to work multiple hours a day in unclean conditions?
I mean, that's probably definitely getting people in smaller, close places with low air ventilation definitely didn't help. But it definitely, it still exists. The virus still exists. It's out there. Our bodies, isn't capable of sustaining and fighting off every single infection because every single person that's ever died as a human had an immune system. So therefore, immune systems aren't in and of itself enough in order to keep you from dying. So it's very important that, we save people from vaccine preventable illness. It's that simple. Even if you yourself are healthy, imagine a future where you have cancer, where you're having to take an immunosuppressant in order to have some type of cancer therapy or something that's happening, and now you're immune compromised, so that going out in the city, now you're exposing yourself to, or would you really be going to Coachella or the soccer game where you're going to expose yourself to measles or communicable diseases like smallpox, where would you really be safe and feel free in order to do that in your life? Like, no, you'd live in fear. Our entire society slowed down, and because of one pandemic. That was one virus, guys. Imagine if the 17 different viruses that we vaccinate for, all of those were out in community spread constantly, and every month was.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why it's a little bit insane is because, like car accidents kill tons of people, right? Yet if we were saying that we need to pad up everybody that's driving in a car and, make the cars self-driving and nobody can drive a car because cars are killing people and anybody who drives a car is a murderer. Right. I mean, that would be quite a stretch, right? So, I mean, we all engage in risky activity, and by going outside and so on and so forth. I mean, you can't nerf the world, right? And so on and so forth. You know, but yeah, this kind of idea, right? Um, he's talking about um you know, how these sort of diseases spread and so on. A lot of diseases are man-made, right? Like E. coli comes from us, from pig intestines, right? So it's animal agriculture, animal husbandry caused tons of diseases to form, right? Our agricultural practices, right? Okay, we got all sorts of endocrine disruptors and all sorts of chemicals that we use, and obviously those have effect on our immune system. We got all sorts of cancers that are caused by chemicals and stuff, and nobody's saying that we need to get rid of all this stuff. I mean, it's kind of weird, right? You're constantly exposing yourself to things that cause man-made diseases and illnesses and cancers, and yeah, I mean, it's just wild.
Before I got booted a moment ago, Dom was making another excellent point about why smallpox was probably a result of industrialization and the increased infections, probably, and the decreased air quality, all kinds of reasons.
Right? Yeah, huge other factors that they're missing out. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he's killing it right now. This is one of the top call-ins I've seen to a show, and the fact that they're just laying it on this dude's total fed. It's kind of weird that he has this dude up. I mean, it's interesting show, honestly. The guy, Objective Ethics, he's been nothing but kind to me, so I really appreciate the dude his kind of attitude. But yeah, this is kind of strange, for sure, from a certain perspective. But obviously, I don't agree with.
It's like, oh, guess what? Hip B isn't back, or watch out for all these different things that are being exposed to at the your local Walmart, saying would the companies want you to be vaccinated? Like if a certain amount of people were being exposed and dying as a direct result of like local super spreader events at like NFL games, do you think that the NFL would step in at some point and be like, hey guys, we should have people vaccinated so that they aren't just like super spreader events that our NFL games people can actually safely go to? Like we have an innate desire as humans in order to be social, and not spreading communicable diseases is a huge part of that.
Greg was actually exactly right. The last natural case of smallpox was recorded in 1977, and it was declared eradicated in 1980. And this is just a great example of what happens when humans stop arguing and start vaccinating. It didn't disappear because of better soap. It disappeared because the virus ran out of naive hosts to infect.
Well, better soap misses the point of what I'm trying to draw attention to. These crowded environments in general that bring people together in unclean conditions is what makes the diseases prominent in the first place. And this was also what we saw when the first cities developed. Yes, when people crowded into cities in Mesopotamia, they were actually more sick than when they were out in the wild.
That's actually a fact. Like, if people are contained within a certain local population, then those people would just all die from a disease and it wouldn't spread. So what the fuck are they talking about? That like, you need this jabby stabby to not spread the disease. You not go to places where it's spreading. Like, for real. I mean, it's spreading through. It's communicable. So how would a population that's contaminated with this disease, if they're not isolated and quarantined, that it just wouldn't spread? I mean, this is it's pretty weird. I think they bring up something about how certain things were airborne and that airborne communicable diseases. All right. Well, if the air is gonna kill you, man, just you know. All right. Yeah, man. I mean, talk about paranoia. I mean,
but they're for sure like they aren't like so viruses spread more easily in cities. Diseases aren't created because of overpopulation in and of itself. So this is the difference, like, terrain theory and this kind of ideology, this anti-germ theory line of thinking is basically that there are no diseases. Actually, it's just that people are lying and people are doing bad immoral things, so their body is reacting to that, and therefore you're just a good person and then you never get sick. So that's kind of like, it really is anti-vaccine rhetoric, and like the Maha stuff is actually basically like Christianity healthcare, where if you're just a good person, you don't have to worry about viruses because viruses don't exist.
It's not necessarily about being a good person, but being a healthful person who uses discernment in how they use their body in the world.
Well, what's helpful for
so see, he really went on a weird tangent there. I think you guys see what he did there, right? He said that he changed Dom's argument to, he just made a logical point that if there's overpopulation, there's crowding, there's increased transportation, obviously these diseases will spread faster, right? And obviously the lack of clean living spreads them even faster. So the fact is that instead of acknowledging his point, he's not saying that. Dom is saying that if you do good stuff and you're a spiritual person or something like that, then you won't get the disease. He's never said that. So he's kind of straw manning his point in a very clear way here. Helpful. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I guess that's the confusion. He thought you said a different word.
I'm back. I'm gonna drop the link here so you don't have to talk to yourself, because I keep getting booted out and all this crap, man. Thanks for holding it down. But yeah, you're bringing up a lot of interesting points. I want to make comments.
Yeah,
so
if
you're
you
talking about
drop,
the air poison.
Yeah, if you drop, Dom will probably come up. We could hold it down, so that'll help.
Yeah, it'd be great. And I'll just let you share the screen. No matter what, I can at least you can keep it going. But freaking. Yeah, you're saying airborne, the air is poison, like it can't go outside. I was talking to someone today about how like they're like, it's like this whole thing, like blood is like super toxic and bad, and it's like when you see other people's blood, like you got to be super careful because it's got all kinds of diseases. It's like they're teaching you that blood is poison, the air is poison, the water is poisoned. Like they teach us to fear everything, man, which is part of how it's the pharmakeia, man. Pharmakeia, man. It's all I got. It's like to source. Right.
Yeah. And you might be saying, well, everybody already knows this. Why are you guys saying this again? Yeah, the fact is that everybody doesn't already know this. There's small YouTube channels that have Department of Defense guys on to show people that this is not the case, and so on and so forth. And none of you guys go and challenge it, right? Because the fact is because you think that you can put your so-called conspiracy knowledge in your back pocket, and now you view the world in a higher level, and higher level of discernment, and you're better than the NPCs and all this stuff, and you don't have to do anything about it.
Right.
And
we got to be on the next viral thing constantly. We forget about the past, man. Do you know how many viral sensations have happened recently? Come on, dude.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll do it again, right in front of your face while you're sleeping. So the fact is that unless you resist this shit all the time, they're around the clock plotting how to pull this shit off. And obviously, you keep going and saying that, oh, it's the people that are, looking into shit and all this stuff. They're the fucking problem and all this stuff, or or the people that are. Yeah, man.
Troy makes an excellent point here. Many man-made chemicals are considered the cumulative biopersistence. By the way, generations suffer the effects while the toxins go undetected. And good to see you, Troy. Troy was like a moderator over in the WYSIWYG channel for a while. Interesting to see you today, Troy. But yeah, no, that's a great point.
Yeah.
who? So that's the point. Is like a lot of these guys like Cohen and all the Cowell and all these.
Sorry, what was that?
Busy wigging a while.
Oh, shit, you're kind of roboting there. But...
Didn't take his internet. Oh man.
Yeah, you roboted there. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think Dom's here
No.
too.
Oh man. Is he? All right. Yep. What's up, dude? I freaking find it. What the heck?
What's up? You guys hear me?
Not the Wi-Fi signal. I can hear you. Yeah.
There's a little bit roboted, but yeah, I can hear you.
All right. When you play the video again, go back like 10 seconds because I say something and he misinterprets what I say right here.
Yeah. Yeah, let's check it out. This is interesting. Yeah, nah, I don't know if you want to tell them what happened with the AI, but that was a weird, like, look at that 5-second thing. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. You see how he changes? It's crazy.
You know, you can press J and L too.
He's happier than a clam there. All right, so let's go back a little bit.
It's sick. So that's kind of like it really is anti-vaccine rhetoric, and like the Maha stuff is actually it's basically like Christianity healthcare, where if you're just a good person, you don't have to worry about viruses because viruses don't.
That was kind of weird how he brought Christianity into that. Like a lot of Christians just went along with the program, so I don't know why he's blaming Christians now, right? It's kind of weird how he's like, it's Christianity healthcare. Like, whoa, dude, you just attacked Christians for no reason. Weird.
Well, right here,
church. That shit pissed me off.
Yeah, the churches, yeah, they played a huge role actually. But right here, I say being a healthful person, like full of health. I should have said healthy, and he misinterprets me and says helpful. But yeah, you'll see that. I just wanted to say that. Well, it's not necessarily about being a good person, but being a healthful person who uses discernment.
Yeah, yeah. It did kind of say like, yeah, it did kind of seem like you said helpful. But the thing is that you clarify it later, just so you guys know. So
And how they use their body in the captions, it picked up as healthful.
oh yeah, yeah. You definitely said healthful. Yeah, I could fully hear it now that you pointed out. But yeah, it sounded like helpful for sure.
World.
Well, what's helpful for who? So that's my point. Is that a lot of these guys like Cohen and all the Cowell and all these guys that are that purport this stuff. I mean, they're sick. They have like a mental problem, in my opinion, because they're literally going to people that have cancers and they're telling them don't seek out oncology and medicines because you're actually sick because you're not eating well. It has nothing to do with the cancer. There is no cancer. You're a bad person. And that's just wrong, man. That's unethical. That's wrong. That's taking advantage of someone when they are in their worst moments.
Well, if you are,
and then going back to the comment about healthy living, right? A lot of cancer cases are preventable, right? A lot of cancer cases are man-made. So it's kind of weird, right, that he pointed out cancer as an example. It's kind of like for this to be right, you have to use the example of communicable diseases. Like it's kind of weird. Not sure what's going on here.
it says I'm here.
Oh yeah, we're here, but I just full screen himself.
Oh my god, dude! My freaking phone is so damn slow. It is insane.
Yeah, it's all good.
Sick. If you're already
it's so
sick,
delayed.
old,
like I hit a button, it takes a
already
moment.
on pills. You know, I'm not.
Yeah.
that's taking advantage of someone when they are in their worst moments.
Well, if you are sick, if you're already sick or old, and already on pills, I'm not telling you to stop. I'm not saying anyone to stop doing what's keeping you alive. But I'm saying that if we look to children and let's say that they grow up in healthier and cleaner environments where they're active and eating right, they're going to be a lot less likely to be sick, regardless of if they have vaccines or not.
Yeah, but nobody's arguing against that. Nobody is arguing like for. But the problem is that vaccines allow, and specifically vaccines allow about 5 million people a year in order to survive. We're talking about people that are too young in order to get vaccinated, or too old where their immune system is more compromised. And I don't feel like there's any type of world that is, gives you a liberated and free society when there is an expiration date on your forehead, knowing full well that like grandpa has to die for the economy and like your life is expendable and we're just going to throw you into the wood chipper once you're 62.
Again, I'm not saying to discount the medicine if it's keeping people alive, but I'm advocating and saying that if we
Again, he used a slippery slope fallacy to attend to his argument when he just basically said, well, you want to throw grandpa in the wood chipper because you don't want people to live. And he just pointed out that everybody doesn't need the mandatory thing, right? Just so we can have social experiences because we're social people. So everybody needs to get a government mandated chemical thing, in an injection, yeah.
lived healthier lives, there would be less of a need for medicine and vaccines in the first place.
Let's talk about another example. Let's
Oh
talk
wait, sorry. Don, were you gonna say something? My bad. I forgot you were up here.
It just comes down to they are fear mongering. That's what they do a lot. You'll see that all throughout this.
Sweet Orion. Yeah, blessings. I haven't seen you before. Thank you for watching.
about measles. So measles is one of the most contagious viruses known to man. It has a transmission rate of 12 to 18. One sick person infects up to 18 others. Measles gives you immune amnesia, where the virus kills your memory B and T cells, and other diseases are more likely to get to you. So getting measles makes you more likely to die of something else over the next couple of years. Before 1963, measles killed over 2 million people every year. And then sanitation efforts reduced the death rate significantly, but cases still remained high. Once the vaccination was introduced, cases went down, the death rate went down, everything went down. And now when we see vaccine uptake plummet, it's the first thing to come back because it's so communicable. We are seeing measles popping back up. Canada has lost its measles-free status. I don't know if America even had a measles-free status, but it's probably likely to lose it too. And this is what happens when people stop caring about the facts and stop vaccinating their kids. It's the first disease to come roaring back.
They had
And
it,
it's a
but they're
disease
going to
that,
lose it.
sanitation.
Not a fact.
Say that again, Truther.
Hey, Dom, I don't know if you get the Commenter of the Year award on Dr. Greg's panel, but you're going to lose it. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Can help, but it can't ultimately protect you because it can go airborne. And at that point, the only thing that can protect you is a trained immune system.
And sorry, Scales, but I really have to.
Well, hold on. Before we go on, Chris Moore, let's let Crystal Shaman go.
Yeah, I do want to let Crystal Shaman go next. Thank you for recognizing that, Set Scales. And I also want to just point out one thing here is that we've got a goalpost shift that's happening. So literally a paper was cited where some philosopher mythicist was talking about how unhealthy and efficacious vaccines were. And I think what the argument that Set Scales is actually trying to
mythicist. I think he called him a philosopher mythicist. I think he meant mystic. So yeah, it's interesting that objective ethics isn't familiar with people who practice mysticism or mystics and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's fascinating subtext to all this that their information is not seen as credible, and so on and so forth.
Make is something that I would actually potentially agree with, because I am concerned about overpopulation. I cannot support quackery, though. The quackery of saying that vaccines don't work and that smallpox should be introduced to everybody naturally and let this natural immunity. The science has literally refuted that, and the two scientists on the panel did a great job of explaining that.
Yeah,
But
30% of people who get infected with smallpox die.
when
30%.
it comes when it comes to the actual like overpopulation issue, the overcrowding issue, that I can agree with you, brother. Absolutely. That is one of my biggest concerns. The more people we have on this planet, the more we have to condense them together, which is why I'm a proponent of, smaller population in an ethical way, finding an ethical way to convince people, hey, look, we don't need to be popping out 5, 6, 7 kids, especially in the poorest countries, which are the countries that are most likely to be doing this.
Of course he's going to push that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's wild. Population control, optics. I don't think that is what Dom was talking about, right? Is like there's too many people. I think he was just talking about crowding in the cities and that type of lifestyle. So I don't think they're directly talking about
no, he said it all, but he's like, no, yeah, I agree in smaller cities. And then not because we need to move out in the country, but because there needs to be less people.
I know. Yeah. Weird.
That would be my follow-up on that. Crystal, you've been so patient. I really appreciate you waiting here, sister. By the way, it's so nice to have.
Now, Crystal is the other one. Crystal really, honestly, slam dunk. You know what I mean, this is a slam dunk. Outstanding call in with Crystal Shaman.
Have you stopped by today? Did you have a question for Dr. Gray or for Austin or anybody, whatever?
Thank you for having me, OE. Well, I have some just things I'd like to say. First of all, I do have a question for you, OE. Are you only going to have this side of this subject as being pro-vax, or will there be another side offered on a different live?
Well, I'm willing to engage in a conversation with anybody on any topic as long as they can be respectful. So this is really an opportunity for anybody to bring their objections. Am I going to host a show specifically with people who reject the vaccine? I don't think I will be doing that because I promote what I consider to be solid science. However, I welcome people's pushback. So when I have a scientist on the panel, I welcome people to come and actually engage with the scientists that I bring. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you for answering that.
You know what that sounds like to me, Crystal? It sounds like asking, well, are you only going to have a live stream about biological reproduction, or are you also going to balance it out with a live stream about the stork theory? It's we're not treating these things as equal. One is science and one is a conspiracy theory.
This is why I avoid coming on panels sometimes, because things I say are turned into something else, and I'm interrupted when I'm speaking to go on with what
right. Stop interrupting her, dude. Like they just they piled on 2 or 3 points onto like one question that she asked, and she hasn't even gotten her question, and she hasn't gotten to speak at length like the other callers. So it's kind of weird. And so she made a good point. She's like, "This is why it's hard to call into shows like this because they're only gonna present one perspective, right? And so on and so forth. Out front." So obviously it's not his thing to have people that disagree with him on his show. That's obviously up to him, but yeah, it's interesting.
I was going to say, I have been on a medical Discord where it's mostly all medical people, well, ever since the pandemic started. So I have seen a lot of documented medical information and data on many areas of the vaccine, which I don't think it's really a vaccine to me, plus people who got COVID or SARS-CoV-2, which I'm one of them. I never took any COVID vaccines, and I will not, ever. And now I have alpha-galactosidase, so I would never take a vaccine anyway, but that just cinches it down for me. But, there have been people, and it is documented, who have been harmed from that. So I've seen the medical evidence. This is not a conspiracy. It's Kevin McCairn. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a neuroscientist. And actually, he's developed a therapy that helps people to get the spike protein from taking the jabs that they took out of their body. And plus, people who got COVID or SARS-CoV-2, they also have a spike protein problem as well. So this is actually being used in a hospital in Japan. So there is another side to this, not just one side. And that's all I came.
Information.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yep.
You can.
Let's not.
Did you hear what he said? He said that's all misinformation. Like what he didn't even look at this things that like he didn't look at the sources, like he didn't ask like where are you getting this information? Like just nope, it's all misinformation. There's documented cases of people that have been harmed by taking this, which I think is probably in some cases I think it would have to be a proven fact. There's obvious known medical side effects that certain people reacted to worse than others. So I mean, just for starters,
yeah, right.
And right, it has to be somewhat true that some people were harmed by it. There's documented cases that people were harmed by it. I mean, what's wrong with that statement? He said that's all misinformation. Wild.
Let's not interrupt.
This
her.
wasn't
Let's
the
let
guy
her get her
who
piece out.
got charged, right?
Oh, was that true?
This wasn't Fauci's guy. The one that got charged, the way he's pushing it sounds like he might be pushing the same thing.
Yeah.
Weird. And we'll respond. And I appreciate, Crystal, I appreciate you bringing this to the table, because this is a platform where I do want people to bring different ideas and pushback, but we'll address the idea, though, because it's a claim that you're making, and I'm not trying to be harsh when I say this, right? But you're making an affirmative claim of X, Y, and Z, and I want to give the doctors and the scientists there, Austin and stuff, a fair chance to respond. But we won't cut you off. We'll let you make your argument.
Okay, I am speaking from what I've seen and known from literally 5 years. So no, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but I lived this myself, having that illness. So I literally had to bring myself back from death. But someone made the comment that even Jesus would take the boosters. Well, I beg to differ. I don't think Jesus would have taken any needles in his body whatsoever, this Jesus figure, if he existed. But that's just my opinion.
I tried to go back and see where that comment was.
I just want to share the fact.
At least originally, I tried to go look back in the chat while this was live and see where that comment was. So either I missed it, or I just thought that comment was so asinine. It's like, dude, Jesus is allegedly healing the sick and restoring body parts and whatnot to people. Why would he take, why would he have anything put into his body? That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I could see it in response to what he was saying earlier, because he randomly attacked Christians. Because he said that
what, AC or Greg or the chat?
Greg did. He said that it's Christian healthcare to say if you act good to people, then you won't get a disease or something like that. So he said that's Christian healthcare, and I'm like, whoa, and so I just pointed out that a lot of Christians promoted that sort of thing. So why is he specifically blaming them as anti-science?
It's kind of it's hypocritical in the sense that if you don't want religion shoved down your throat, then why are you like virtue signaling to all the Christians like, oh, Jesus would do this or you should do this? It's hypocrisy.
Yeah, that's what somebody said. Apparently, even Jesus would get the boosters. So wild.
I felt like I lost brain cells on that one.
Yeah, I think Crystal Shaman rightfully pointed out that. Yeah, what in the fuck, dude?
Well, actually, someone in the chat said that. The doctors didn't say that. So someone in the chat said
Right.
Jesus would probably get the vaccine.
Right.
That's what Crystal was addressing.
Right. That's what Red is saying, that he's trying to go and find that comment, but he can't find it. But yeah.
I mean, if I go back now, if it has to reach, if the replay chat is up, then I could probably find it. But I don't think it's even worth it at this point.
Yeah.
It was probably that Titan guy. I wouldn't. My bet would be on that guy because he was making some really dumbass comments in there. Anyways, sorry to.
No, it's cool, man. There's only a little bit more left of this. So if you guys want to come up and let us know what you think. Obviously, a pretty weird show with this Department of Defense doctor, Greg.
Like,
And
really? Like, is that for real?
yeah, it's his credentials. He got funded for 3 years by the Department of Defense, and he works in
Well,
nanotechnology.
there you go. Oh, and he works in nanotech? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a weird dude. This is one of the top
This just
dudes
keeps
that-
getting better and better.
Yeah, this is a weird episode. Honestly, I thought there'd be more people interested in this. I'm surprised everybody ran away today. The other times when we talked about the powdered crusty and enslaved by tacos, it's just like everybody showed up. Pretty weird. They even came on panel to talk to us. Pretty weird.
That there is another side. There's always another side to everything. It's not always clear cut. There always is some other side to it. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect in this planet. It never will be.
I mean, but
Right. Let's. Okay, go ahead, Greg.
People, right? I mean, like, I'm sure. Like, imagine there's another person that Let's take the extreme example. Someone that doesn't think that I should be alive today. That's someone that my life should be ended. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that there's someone out there in the world that believes that because I'm showing up on their algorithm feed, and they would love nothing more than to end my life. So do we?
It's equivalent to murder to believe these things.
Wow. Wow.
Believing somebody should be murdered. To believe that. So this is the wildest, like fallacy thing. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, this is a wild equivalence. He's saying that promoting anti vax is equivalent to wishing somebody dead. This is super wild. I'll go back. I mean, this is wild. He's actually saying this.
There's another person that Let's take the extreme example. Someone that doesn't think that I should be alive today. That's someone that my life should be ended. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that there's someone out there in the world that believes that because I'm showing up on their algorithm feed, and they would love nothing more than to end my life. So do we? Like, let's platform that guy. Let's give that guy like a ton of views and standpoints, and let's feel like what he is saying, and let's debate that. Like, no, of course not, right? Like, we're not going to hold open the debate idea that this person should just be able to murder another person. Like, that just doesn't exist, right? And now you think that that's really abstract, and that's like,
There's
oh my gosh, like, well,
there's several things, fallacious things.
He's right. It doesn't
I
exist.
know. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
it's total weird. Yeah, it's like 3 fallacies at least. It's weird. It's crazy. Yeah.
For one, that's not what Crystal Shaman was saying. For two, no one said anything about platforming anybody. And for three, this is literal mind control. This is literal mind control because he's basically saying, oh, well, if you are going to spread around germs and whatnot, get away from me, basically. It's like you might unalive me with your germs. Like, dude, like, chill out with your supposed extreme example. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's a straw man.
Yeah, it's crazy straw man here.
Someone that is allowed. But okay, but now let's say that my life, it's not just me. Now it's me, that I exist because I was born with a genetic abnormality where I don't have an immune system. Now the debate on whether or not people should be vaccinated or not directly makes it so that the attack on public health and the increase of contagious diseases in public spaces directly threatens my life and directly threatens my ability to live.
Directly.
So now, like, should we debate on whether or not immune compromised people should be able to live in our society? Like, I don't think so. Like, hell no. Like, just because my
now they can't even live in the society. Dude, whoa. You gotta kick them out. This is wild
For
stuff.
one, my uncle is immune compromised, so shut the fuck up, dude. For two, just shut the fuck up, basically.
He said immune compromised motherfuckers that people who don't want to take vax are trying to murder them and so on and so forth. That it's almost equivalent, he says, to somebody that literally wishes somebody dead and would do it if they could. So this is wild.
A family member or something has cancer and they're dealing with that now someone else should have the ability to decide for my family member that they should be able to live. Like, no, that's not that doesn't seem right with
Hold
me.
on a
So, like in
second.
public health, we always
Notice how he flips it. He flips it. The government wants to obviously have that power to deem whoever gets to live and whoever gets to die. Now you're trying to flip it on us and make us the problem. Government shill here.
Yeah.
Dear officials, man.
side with the public and that collective versus the individual. And the individual, their burden is going to be getting things like vaccinations, adhering to public health restrictions. And if you don't, then I think that there should be some type of restriction on you. Like just like how I'm sure that there are people that feel a certain way about stopping
restriction on you.
Yeah, he makes it really vague.
Yeah,
right?
right. If you don't, there should be some kind of restriction on you. Well, I don't
It's
know what
like,
that is. But
I guess we can just throw out the Constitution. Well, the Constitution was shredded a long time ago, but let's make it even more obvious, right?
like weird stuff, man. Honestly.
for red lights. They hate them. They probably hate red lights, and they think that, well, it's my right to not, just I want to live and I want to just floor to the floor, and, the gas pedal the entire way. I don't want to use brakes.
Can I respond? Because I think that's a serious straw man of what Crystal Shaman's actually saying. She's saying that there are two sides to the story, meaning that you, as a scientist, it's impossible for you to know the full picture of what's going on. An example of this is no one's really in control of technology, and vaccines are just the development of technology. An example of that is side effects that they do not want to happen in the medicine, but they're really just effects. They call them side effects because they're not the targeted effect that they want. Scientists are not in full control over the things they make.
We do. That's what the studies are for, and we find that they are safe. They're incredibly safe and effective. And unfortunately, algorithms push ideas to people that they see and that's confirmed, thousands of times in headlines, and that just aren't true. Like, there hasn't been mass death because of vaccines. There just hasn't been. Like, the whole idea that all these people are going to die in mass after 6 months after the mRNA vaccines, that was all fake. Or a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. And I'm sure they're all talking about there's going to be mass death at 10 years once these things.
Yeah, but that wasn't even my claim, though. My claim was that there are side effects with these vaccines that the scientists do not intend.
Let's talk about side effects. I would love to talk about side effects, and I would like to explain why I don't give a single flung poo about the anecdotes that Crystal's appealing to, because statistics prove her wrong. So let's take two groups, two true, simple, random samples of 10 million. One's completely vaccinated, the other isn't vaccinated at all. In the unvaccinated group, they all get it. Measles is so communicable that it's going to spread through all 10 million of the unvaccinated group. Only 3 or 4 in the vaccinated group are going to get the disease. Of the 10 million unvaccinated, 9,800,000 of them get a fever or rash. 800,000 get severe diarrhea, which is one of the things that will kill the most of them. 700,000 will get a severe infection in their ear that could result in permanent hearing loss. 600,000 will get pneumonia, the deadliest side effect of the disease. That alone will kill 12,000 of them. Up to 10,000 will get encephalitis, swelling of the brain. 2,500 will get SSPE, a condition where the illness lingers in the brain and slowly kills the host over a few years. It's freaking horrible to watch. So add it all up, about 2.5 million, mostly children, will suffer serious side effects. 20,000 of them will die, but it doesn't stop there, because the kids who do survive will be left with a severely damaged immune system that will need significant time to regenerate. Sometimes it takes as much as a year or two. Hope they don't get any pathogens during that period, because if they do, they're probably, to use a medical term, completely fucked. That's why the number of people who will actually die is much higher than 20,000. They don't die from...
Yet, for thousands and thousands of years, there's people, they lived, died, they had diseases, so on and so forth. That it infected local populations. They got quarantined and they moved on. And no population was ever found where all the kids got measles and they all died. And so I don't know, pretty weird stuff. Despite his like
Yeah,
statistical
there's way
rant.
too many of us here. Apparently, the city's too big. Like, city is too many here. Like, yeah, without the vaccine, like it's so like it argues.
Yeah, I think this is basically it. I'm not sure how much more of this is left. I don't know if you dropped the link again,
It
but
goes to the end. It goes all the way to the end of the video.
yeah, but
I'm not sure how much I
don't
can
think,
take.
yeah, I don't think like
I only watched until Dom left.
yeah, I don't think you say
I couldn't handle these people are ridiculous.
yeah, I don't think you say much. Then this guy refutes himself later by saying that some guy planted fake research in journals.
Oh, right, the eat the chocolate thing.
Yeah, so let's try to find that part because that's hilarious. We'll just go straight to that.
Because the
But
person did it on
notice
purpose.
how
They did it.
how he just basically mounted everybody's a statistic, not actually human.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll play this part because this guy literally refutes himself here. Right after he says that you should trust the research, bro. And this is what he has to say about trusting the research later in the same show. This is actually quite amazing, folks. The cope is real.
Publish, and you can publish absolute crap because of that. So it, but I don't, to my knowledge, at least not in my field, you can't pay for reviews. It should be totally blinded, and that's the way it ought to stay. If that's happening in another field, I would definitely speak out against that. That'd be horrific.
A lot of what Tavo says is true, especially the part about paying to publish. You can pay a journal with low standards to publish all kinds of junk science. And once it's in the media, once it's reached the information ecosystem, there's really no putting a lid back on it. Like a great example was the study that said that eating chocolate helps you lose weight. That study was wildly cherry picked. It was done with a horrendous methodology. And the way I know is because the person did it on purpose. They did a terrible study on purpose to make an eye-catching headline and to see how far this bad science would get pushed. And it got picked up by basically every media outlet out there. And they amplified this claim that even the person publishing knew it was false. He was doing it specifically as a social experiment to see how far a bad junk science paper could get amplified. So it is a real problem.
And it can't help at all that like our president has put somebody like RFK in charge of the health organization, and he's telling people that
And I said that official reports, like from RFK and stuff, where they make like fake research institutes, they push fake research, and so there's plenty of examples of this, even from the official government, right? So, so pretty strange, right? So,
RFK, when I saw a viral clip of him, I think it was today, his ringtone went off, and it was literally a duck quacking. Quack, 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 quack. Like while he was in the middle of an interview. And he's supposed to be like representing like the natural health side of things. Like, well, weird.
I'm sure it's not an accident.
yeah, he probably has like those shoes, you remember, with the like those, I mean, with the holes in them. Crazy, man.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Yeah, Crocs. Yeah, exactly. Crocs. He probably wears Crocs too.
These doctors, they're just paid to push the narrative. That's what it's saying.
100%.
But the way they did it, I've got to say, I kind of expected more.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Like, even with that supposed chocolate example, like where did it go? It's gone to the wayside. People have moved on. People can hopefully figure it out. That junk science is junk science, but again, there are a lot of gullible people. So
Yeah,
I had
like
COVID twice.
yeah.
I, I had COVID twice and I survived, and no vaccination. I never even got tested.
Sounds like you might have it now, dude.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, you're endangered, Cecil. Get away from us. You're gonna give
Shit.
it to us through the stream.
Oh, dude, and I was working at Amazon and all that. People coming up to me, I have children. Are you gonna at least get tested? I'm like, yeah. And then I walk away and don't get tested.
Yeah, the tests were pretty insane. Where they put some sort of chemical, or I think they stuck it up your nose. In some cases, pretty
Yeah.
strange fucking test. All right.
Trying to swab your brain.
Swabs, that was a miraculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that test was no bueno as well. It was pretty weird.
Yeah, right.
Fear mongering. That's all those doctors did. And that's all those lockdowns produced. There's a lot of fear. And then, then the authorities come along and they're like, well, we got the solution for you guys here. You don't have to fear anymore, even though they're pretty much the entire source of the fear. You heard it with all their examples, that dude AC Sims gave a closing remark where he was all like, well, I don't remember exactly what vaccine or what sickness he was talking about. He's like, well, there's some kids who get this sickness and the vaccine could prevent it. And there's a chance they could lose their limbs. And there's
Yeah.
a chance they could lose 2 limbs. And there's even a chance they could lose 3 limbs. And if they're really lucky, they might lose all 4 limbs.
Well, they turn into a Dr. Seuss book.
They have the statues in the UK. I remember Ricky Gervais. They made a reference. I forget the name. It was like something thalidomide babies, or oh my god, there's this drug that they were all taking in the UK, and thalidomides or something like this, and like they all. Like all the babies who were born, like were missing limbs, and like from this prescription drug, like, and they got rid of it for obvious reasons. Yeah, the thalidomides, I think.
And then there was something he said at the end. Objective Ethics said something about how we should be humble about things we don't know and trust the people who do know the subjects and disciplines that we don't know about, especially if it concerns things like our health, whatever else. And I thought it sounded very religious-like, like the churches say, be humble before the priests. They're the
Yeah,
instrument
right.
of God.
That's what I basically said before.
Yeah.
It's like, congratulations, you're the new priesthood.
Oh yeah, that was kind of like a lot of our show yesterday. How there's a bunch of unquestioned things in science. It's not that most people don't want to question these things, is that they don't have the ability to, because of the way that the scientific knowledge is conducted.
Yeah, and the way it's conducted, like their glorious peer review system, which is just, they look at it and then they try to pick it apart and point out all the places how it's wrong. Yeah, that's our standard. Yeah, and they also look for repeatability and that's really the main thing: repeatability, and how much can we control the world with whatever we're making or focusing our scientific effort on.
And you know how bad it is. It's when you realize that Operation W, etc., was largely handled by Teal, by Palantir, for the logistics of getting all these vials to all the different places so everybody can get the you know what. And the other thing is that they should know better about the nocebo effect. If you have all this fear mongering, you're gonna get people to end up with worse health than they already have if you're just gonna make them,
Right.
you know.
What's the point of a placebo study to like verify that a prescription drug works if it doesn't have an effect? They recognize the placebo effect so much so that they test placebos with against their own drugs to see
It's not
what the
just the
placebo part is.
placebo. It's the nocebo. It's the opposite effect. If someone believes something negative so much that it will likely happen,
Right. Yeah.
where they'll get sicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like
that's why I don't
crazy.
like it. That's why I don't like argue against these vaccines and say you don't know what the vaccines did and this and this and they cause all kinds of this shit. So it's toxic information. It's like the moment you start to put that out there, if people finally get it and they already took it, it's like not good for them. Unfortunately,
Right.
to hear that.
It's just another very good excuse to withdraw from society. People have become so freaking stupid. People have become so freaking stupid they're a danger to themselves and everyone around them. It makes sense why people go hermit and just freaking, don't want to interact with anybody anymore.
You know who did that was Heraclitus.
That was part of the mind control, though.
No, that is the exact opposite of mind control. They want us all in this like group that they could just herd around and freaking do whatever. Not. Just be by yourself, dude. It's fine.
Heraclitus was the dude who went to go and live in nature and got away from the civilized society because he thought that it was basically crap and the people were not very honorable. And I bring that up because I was having another discussion on Objective Ethics channel where the person he brought on was very Heraclitian.
Well, it's weird that she said that she believes in free will, but earlier in the show, she said that she doesn't believe in the self. So how do you believe in free will without a self?
Who was that?
The presenter on his show. It's a Chinese lady that was like, she has pretty professionally produced content. Again, I'm not sure how he has on so many people that have these sort of very high grade, professionally produced videos, right? And so on and so forth. And they're experts and they work for the Department of Defense and also PhD like Richard Carrier.
Littling has the.
But yeah.
Thalidomide was given to moms with morning sickness, and the babies were born missing limbs. Morning sickness is a pseudo thing, too similar to fear mongering. Is what little. By the way, nothing explained here is medical advice on any level. Like we're just having a conversation about the philosophy of medicine and the thoughts around it.
Mostly, actually, not the opposite of medicine. It's a bunch of scam artists that are trying to say that it is medicine. Am I right?
Well, they're trying to sell up. They're trying to
Yeah.
sell something as medicine
Right.
when they made it themselves. Like as a, like that guy said, they look at nature and they steal the ideas and they create technology. Essentially, so like
And I brought up the point that they don't control medicine or technology, really. But he was like, well, we do, because we do studies. It's like, what? The studies are done to find out exactly what the medicine's going to do, because you don't even know what it's going to do when you make it for sure. That's why you got to test it.
it took them 50 years to realize that Roundup was causing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Where they were, Monsanto sold the company to Bayer, and Bayer was sued billions of dollars, and like that took 50 years. Like that's court documents say this. That's all I know.
At this rate, we probably don't have 50 years.
Dude, what was that study on salt or whatever? And they don't like using holistic or like just normal minerals or whatever as medicine because they can't patent. But there was some study on salt that I think took place over in the UK. It was like a 20-year study. And at the end of it, it showed that actually having a regular amount of salt in your diet is actually good for you. I mean, if you go with like the theory that all humans or all life evolved out of the freaking ocean on the planet and the ocean's full of salt and like our nervous system uses salt, our stomach acid, like salt breaks down into freaking stomach acid and like it's an essential. But there's there's 3 medications that they're using to treat this stuff that salt corrects. And so they told me you need to retract that study. You can't publish that because it'll be basically bad for their business or whatever.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, good salts are good for your body. You won't have the right ones, but then they all the crap to salt. But we do have to wind this up. I mean, we got about like at the most like we can go to the 2-hour mark. But I enjoy the conversation. I wish that my freaking phone wasn't acting up so much because this is the kind of shit that I wanted to talk about years ago, and I kept getting censored for. But I enjoy hearing the discussion, commentary, and thank you to Timo for bringing up those clips.
I'm just going to say thanks for looking over my discussion. And it was good talking. I'll see you guys again.
Yeah, those are excellent points you made there, man. You really nailed it. I hadn't heard any of that angle before.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I was going to say going up there. I just kind of read that thing and then I was like, well, I'm going to go from here. I didn't even really want to go up there because I don't really consider it a subject that I know very much about personally, about vaccines and biology. But I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do. I didn't expect them to be so bad faith. That's really what it came down to.
Right. Like even by science standards, quote unquote, we all have bacterial clouds around us, so like it would be beneficial for us to not crowd into cities, which was what your point was. And they were like getting all mad and shit when their own fucking, if they did their research, they would be agreeing with you.
I think the point they were trying to make was that it doesn't just come down to environmental factors and that we need some sort of medical intervention to completely keep us safe.
Yeah, well, it just goes back to the mind control.
Yeah, I agree. But they're the experts and I'm not.
Yeah, it all goes back to when TML had Tom Green on his show. He predicted that the mind control or whatever leverage point that they're going to start using in the future, it's going to be about intelligence. Everything's going to be about we're experts, we're professionals, we're more intelligent than you. Freaking, I think there was some dude on Rogan talking about aliens, and all he was talking about is, oh, I'm sure that they're more intelligent than us. See, we're just dumb little peasants. Even if even if we catch them red-handed, you're not intelligent enough to question me, peasant. Just shut up and do what you're told because blah blah blah. I'm just so much more intelligent than you.
That reminds me, Cecil, this one time I was listening to these scientists talk, and this one scientist said something like, he was all, I'm just waiting for the day that aliens come down and, they look at our science and math and they tell us, oh, math, yeah, that stuff's wrong. We used to do that, but here's what's better. Just like, what the
Right.
That's
right.
wild.
And so my theory on how they're basically, they've been with these technocrats have been withholding technology for like the last 40 years at least. The only major technological breakthroughs we've had is just bullshit claiming that it used to enslave us and surveil us, and so uh basically we're gonna have aliens or whatever, but it's not really gonna be aliens. It's gonna be their high technology basically enslaving us and saying, "Look, we're so much more technologically advanced. By the way, this is just the stuff we haven't been giving you as militaries and all this other shit. Freaking develop all this super advanced. Look at all our weapons. Look at all of this and that." Second Amendment doesn't apply anymore because you got a little pea shooter and I got a laser cannon. And basically, yeah, that's my prediction for the future.
I believe Cecil meant to say Adam Green, not Tom Green.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
When TMO
basically
had Tom Green.
appeal to authority. It's basically what it is.
Yeah, fuck Tom Green. But yeah, I concur with that. Reddington is that, yeah, it's they keep on winning because they plan this shit to be cross generational so they can spread it out far enough that nobody with a low attention span can notice anymore.
Yep.
Or try to prepare or whatever, unless few people who the few people who have been and just kept their mouth shut, basically. Well, who knows what they'll be able to do. That's the only reason I even study conspiracies. I'm just trying to figure out what big monsters are trying to kill me and shit, so I can get out of the way. Anyway.
All right, we got to wind this thing down, y'all. Anybody next week we'll have it, and there's obviously TML's got a Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. So we could carry on certain discussions there, I'm sure.
All right, agape all and good night.
Yeah, blessings, Dom. Cecil, you want to say anything to these people?
I've already said everything I needed to say, bro. God bless everybody.
Yeah, blessings, Cecil. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, be well. Awesome.
All right, y'all. Yeah, that's all we got for today, man. Yeah, as he said, we'll be live Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. I'll be there. Reddington will probably be there. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. So it'll be good times. We're going over three guys, Heidegger, Skolimowski, and Alul. The whole idea is about science and civilization and how it relates to technology. And of course, whether science is just knowledge or whether something else is driving it, and whether our ideas, right, in terms of when they function as a conceptual framework, either guide or inhibit all different methods of inquiry. So I think it pretty much relates tooth and nail to what we've been talking about here, but just giving you guys critical forms of argumentation that you can use in advance of some of the ideas that say that this is all about human enterprise, right? These sometimes dangerous misinventions, right? That they're just all it's just a game of human enterprise. Obviously, we know that it's way deeper than that, folks. So it's a spiritual battle. It's a thing that
Yeah,
where
man.
we
It's
can lose
getting rough
control
out
of
here
our
too right now. I
creation.
don't know
Yeah,
how many other people feel it's
yeah, absolutely,
escalating,
man.
but like it is getting fucking rough, dude. It's ridiculous right now, dude.
Yeah,
Holy
it's getting
shit. Like on
crazy,
an
man.
individual level, on the phone level, like the social media level, like but
Right.
it's like there's this flashpoint. It seems to be going back and forth now, man. It's like, whoa. There's
Absolutely.
escalation.
Yeah, the
And it's
time has
impacting
come.
everyone.
It's like
It's
Talcott.
important
The
to see this
time has
shit, man.
come.
Um yeah, next week, hopefully next Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, I
We'll
got a
see
bunch
what
of clips. Yeah, we'll see what it do.
oh, and I never even got to the Jake thing up. I mean, that guy's causing a scene. We didn't get the Andrew Wilson clips. That whatever. Jake Lang. I went on the Talcott earlier in the year and called out Jake Lang. The moment I saw B on the scene covering him in DC at Freedom Corner, I believe, and he made a speech like where Ashley Babbitt's mother, has been protesting forever. I don't know if she still is or not. Anybody's any updates? So maybe I should check back in, but they were at Freedom Corner every day for years, and a lot of the people from the People Convoy went there. And I believe
Yeah. I think you see what's happening in Brown's Void. I don't think he'll be calling in any place. I think he's having trouble here. He's having trouble ending his own show, man. Like that whole thing, like whatever he just said, right? For like,
I didn't
the,
understand a word of
yeah,
it.
the last minute was totally roboted. I mean, he's definitely not going to be calling into that show with this show, because his StreamYard will glitch the fuck out. So he's gonna have to hang up this call to even go over there, and that's if his phone is not totally dead, and so on and so forth. I know last time we did a show on it on like a different setup. We'll try to get that back.
which one. Oh, the free. Yeah, dude. My phone with the the camera up and all that shit. And it's
Yeah,
nice.
that was sick. Yeah,
I
last
don't
time
know
we had a
why,
pretty.
like my microphone, like was not cooperating. The internet signal was not cooperating. I tried to do it. I was gonna get there, but
Yeah, yeah, we'll
I
get
don't know.
there. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's a work in progress. But yeah, we did a couple of few shows out here, man, that were, unimpeachable.
Mm.
Uh, But yeah, all right, so we'll see if Truther can head over there. Yeah, I mean, as Brown's boy points out, the night is young.
Where are we gonna head over to? What's happening?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating. But yeah,
Oh,
we're definitely gonna end this here. But yeah, I
yeah.
appreciate you guys,
Yeah, we
man.
gotta get out of here. Reddington,
Yeah.
great to have you. TML, great to have you. Yeah, and I really appreciate the conversation. This was kind of the conversation I'd really like to have had back when before Operation Warp Speed and all that, but I kept getting shut down everywhere. And it's interesting that all of a sudden we can have
Yeah.
these conversations again. Like I don't know what that's about, but
Yeah, same.
Damage is already done, probably.
Yeah, damage is done, but you still have the same old propagandists. It's pretty weird.
yeah, there's just so much to get into. But everybody, I hope everybody gets outside and hugs a tree or does tuck to the tree or some grass or some shit, man. Do something in nature, man. You know, don't
For
let them
sure.
steal it from you and sell it back to you. Like, get out there, do something.
100%.
I don't know what else to say. That's about it. Oh,
Love
man.
one another. If you're stuck in protection mode, your health goes down because you're in fight or flight. Growth mode is when you thrive. So
Mhm.
if you go into hermit mode, you're more likely to be in protection mode. So it's not exactly healthy, but I understand to get away from idiot people. So it's a fine line. It's a fine balance to hold.
Yeah, it's real weird because it's like, yeah, you can be the ultimate man by being totally alone and by yourself, but what impact does it have if you don't like bring it into society? It's like weird balance.
We're still social beings. We still need each other, even if you don't like other people. You know,
Dude, it is certainly a spiritual war. I was saying that earlier, like times are crazy right now. They like, oh my god, I'm not gonna get into the details. I can't even. Oh my god. Holy shit. The attacks are crazy. And it's not like people in the street with guns and this shit. It's like how we've been taught to perceive and believe in one another and like the divisiveness we've been trained to. It is crazy. Oh man. When I figure out how to say it, I will, but anyhow. Yeah, we got everybody go check out the Healing Law podcast, by the way, while you're at it. Go check that thing out. Subscribe, make sure you're over there. New episode coming out next week. New recording soon. We got some amazing guests coming up. And many more will come. Finally my microphone works like at the end. Like when I want to get out of here.
Yeah, that's weird, dude. It's kind of like interference or some shit. That's strange.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if they're just like destroyers like up in the fucking lab at the fucking DOD fucking don't say that, Truther. It's shutting me down. I don't know.
yeah, that's wild, bro.
I don't know what the fuck's happening. But like whatever. Oh my god. Life
All
goes
right,
on, man.
guys. Is
Yeah,
Destroyer Truther Cops handler? We'll find out next time. Blessings, guys. Peace out.
God is my handler. I realize that that
Do
needs to be
not
my
seek the
t-shirt.
treasure.
God is my handler.
Yeah, do not seek Destroyer's treasure. You know what I'm
Bro.
Good night, everybody. Be well.
Oh, there he goes again. Wow. I guess we'll chatting it up for 2 more minutes here as he comes back. I don't think he clicked end stream. Wow. I feel like this shit might end exactly